What's going on? I am Cole. I'm live. I'm just kind of doing, I want to show off some of the books that I got because it's been a decent stack. I think it's been 2 weeks since I picked up books. I haven't been getting there. And this is the first time I've been to the shop on a Wednesday in a while. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to show off a few of the books that I wanted. There's some stuff that I'm pretty excited for, so I'll save those for last. But first off, we have Batman. Catwoman, this is Tom King, Clayman. This book's been pretty good. This might be the last issue. It is, I think. I think issue 12 is the last issue. So I'm probably behind a few issues on that. So I'll need to catch up on that before reading. That's going to be maybe the moral to the story on all of these books or most of them. We got Detective Comics 10. 61. I don't know why I had a brain fart there. I didn't know how numbers worked, but I've liked what Marika Tamaki has been doing on Batman Detective. So I'm excited to get to that one. I'm still behind. I kind of got behind on a lot of the Batman stuff just due to, I think it was like Shadow Wars or whatever, but hey, my jank brother, what is going on? I'm just kind of showing off the books I picked up today. I had a few minutes. My wife is still putting my daughter to bed, and my son fell asleep. So I figured I'd come on here, do a quick live, and show off some stuff that I got. Next up, we have Harley Quinn number 16. This is a book that I am caught up on. I have been loving what Stephanie Phillips has been doing on Harley Quinn. And yeah, Riley Rossmo, some people do not like his art, but I think it fits good for Harley Quinn. It's kind of a mix of that. I don't know how exactly you would describe it, but Harley Quinn, while she's not super serious, this book definitely has some very serious parts to it. But it just kind of adds for a little bit of fun, in the art. It just kind of adds to that. So that is another book that I have been having a pretty fun time with. Yeah, and glad you did. Yeah, and like I said, yeah, it fits her character really good, and this book has been really solid. Like, I highly recommend checking out Stephanie Phillips' work. She is fantastic, and her Harley Quinn run has been really good too. It's kind of taken over from the Joker's War, which is like Harley Quinn kind of becomes part of the Bat family at this point. Next up, we have Robin. This is another book I am behind on. Like I said, with that Shadows War story, I've gotten behind on a lot of the Bat books because they all kind of came in and goes with that. For those of you who are not familiar with Keanu Reeves writing comic books, here is Berserker. This is issue number 9. Matt Kint is one of my favorite authors. I really liked, I think, issue 6, but 7 and 8 haven't really been doing anything extremely crazy to change me, but who knows, that book has been had some fun spots in it. It's not the greatest book, but hey, I think it got a lot of people into comics, which is always something kind of cool. Next up from AWA Upshots, we have Hit Me. This is from Christopher Faust, artist Priscilla Paredes. I really like what she did for art on Chariot. And yeah, Krista Faust has done some good books. I highly recommend checking out Bad Mother from AWA if you have not already. Oh, what's going on, Brandon? Thank you for joining. Yeah. Keanu Reeves does write this. It's been pretty fun. It's kind of, I mean, it is. He pretty much made a role for himself. It's very gruesome, like maybe overly gruesome, but yeah. Next up, this has actually been one of my favorite indies this year. It is called What's the Furthest Place from Here? One of the cool things this book has done is it has a vinyl with some music on it. I have not gotten any of them, but I've gotten most of the second prints. This is not a book for everyone. It's definitely got some very weird vibes in it. And yeah, it's a very, very, very slow burn. So next up, if you couldn't tell, I'm a big DC guy. Here is Batman. It's been a very bat heavy week. And as you can see, the creative team has turned. It is a new era, and we've got Chip Zdarsky on Batman. So this should be solid. Like I said, though, I am behind, and it's kind of one of those titles where I can't. If I don't read the old stuff, then I am probably not going to read it at some point. So I should probably read it. Um, Next up, we have Basilisk. This is from Cullen Bunn, who's a pretty big horror writer. This has been a book that I've been pretty into most of it. Cullen Bunn kind of had this stage where he has been writing a ton of books right now, and I have maybe gotten a little fatigued on some of this stuff. But Basilisk has been fairly solid throughout. Hey, to stick with the theme of books with Batman in the title, we have Batman Killing Time. This is issue 6 of 8, another Tom King Batman book. It's kind of funny because a lot of people hated Tom King's run on Batman, and now there is that book. The other one I showed, Batcat, and they're giving him a new Riddler book. So it's always funny to see more Batman as it comes in. Uh, Dark Crisis. I've heard the issue 1 of this was terrible, so I'm not super excited to read this. But hey, whatever. I ended up getting it. Flashpoint Beyond. I think I've only read the first issue of this. Another book that is pretty fun is Firepower. I kind of always say this is like the book that is. It's Robert Kirkman. So those of you who know The Walking Dead, he is the writer on this. And yeah, this is kind of like a guy that learns how to throw some fire. It's a pretty fun book. It's kind of one of the books that I use as a palate cleanser because it is very quick read. Like sometimes, like it's always funny. I know somebody was like, I don't have the. I'm like 10 issues behind now. It's like, yeah, 10 issues of that might take you like an hour and a half to read. So that is always kind of a funny one. This is another really sweet cover. And hey, let's just keep going into stuff that's Batman related. We got the Joker. This is issue 15. I think this is supposed to end soon. I don't know. This book is way too expensive. It's not even that good, but it's $6.99 and it does not deserve that price tag because, in my personal opinion, the punchline story is pretty dry and not very good. But hey, the rest of it's been pretty good. Yeah, it is. So it's kind of a kung fu story. The cool thing is that the prelude to the book was like a trade. So it just came out with a trade, and then there was a free comic book day issue. So there was a lot of like free stuff. Hey, Simon, what's up? I'm just kind of going over what I picked up. I figure I had a few minutes, so I would do something live. And say, perfect time. You came for the lick worthy cover of Once and Future number 27. This is not lick worthy, but Dan Mora does some of the best art, in my personal opinion. So, hey, there's a bunch of swords in that guy. So, oh, hey, what is up, Ignacio? And we can put this. Speaking of Ignacio, this is a book. I ended up getting a variant cover, but Ignacio's art was featured in an earlier issue of this. And this is Red Room Trigger Warning. This is number 4. This is the 1 in 5, but it was $8. I figured I'd grab it. I've been collecting a lot of these Red Room variants. Sorry, I forgot what that was called. I mean, I guess this since he's here, this is kind of, I guess, a sexy cover. But we've got this Red Room. At least there's like a butt tattoo. And yeah, I think this is I know that I think Panda is sponsored by this company because he was talking about how cool these little COAs are, where they're kind of like these metal COAs. And speaking of Ignacio, if you guys haven't seen already the comic burrito, we've got this Steak Presents Jessame with art done by Ignacio. And this one's got like some writing on it. I don't know exactly what it says. It's really hard to read. That is the one bummer of the darkness down there, is it's hard to put thought bubbles or speak bubbles to what they said, but awesome cover that we have. And yeah, if you're interested in one of those, there are still some from sale. So make sure to hit up the Comic Burrito on Instagram. Another one of my favorite indies. I have not gotten into this volume yet, but That Texas Blood. The first 2 volumes of this have been fantastic. It is just about small town Texas, and it's a crime book. So the book that I am most excited for, well, I guess second most excited for, is we got a new issue of Saga. This is issue number 60. And as you can see, for those of you who don't know, my daughter is actually named after this character right here. Her name is Hazel. That's how much I love this book, Saga. I'm so glad that it finally came back. So many people were saying that it was not. But the book that I might be even more excited about is another book from Matt Kent, and it is Mind Management Bootleg. My management was actually, it's a funny story, is it was the book that I read while my daughter was born in the hospital, and I have some fond memories of it because of it. Hey, welcome, Las Cruces. And yeah, the final book that I have to show off is I don't know. I have not opened it, so you can kind of tell. I'll pull it out, but I've not opened it. But it's a poly bag. I'm probably not going to open it, which is a bummer. But it is Mind Management, the bootleg, and you can see there's some Matt Can't goodness art here behind that. But hello, welcome. And yeah, I was just kind of showing off some of the books that I got here on New Comic Book Day. So I'll do a quick go through of everything for everyone who just got here. But we got Mind Management bootleg. I got this polybag and the original. We've got Saga number 60. Actually, maybe if I move these here, it'll be easier. We got That Texas Blood. Hey, shop, welcome. We've got Once and Future. We've got The Joker, Firepower, Flashpoint Beyond, Dark Crisis, Batman Killing Time, Basilisk, Batman. What's the furthest place from here? Hit Me, Berserker, Robin, Harley Quinn, Detective Comics, and Batman Catwoman. And that's all I got. So thanks for everyone who stopped by. As always, I'm Colin. Peace. I forgot how to do this.